time leaks. Hey guys, Jim Edwards here, and welcome to another edition of Letting the Chickens Out with Jim. The chickens are out and they're having their snacks. What are time leaks? Well, I wrote an article, gosh, it's got to be 15 years ago, and it was called Hidden Profits in Spare Change Time. And it was all the different, this is back when computers took forever and everybody was on dial-up and it took forever to just do things. There were certain times when you were sitting there waiting for your computer to do something, and I had this whole big list of cool stuff that you could do while you were sitting there for like 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, like clean your desk or balance your checkbook or just, there was all kinds of stuff that you could do. And over the years, I've paid attention to, the amount of time that gets spent or doesn't get spent on stuff, and I've studied different things, and you've heard of the Pareto principle and other things like that, and work expands to fill the time allotted and whatnot. And I've realized also, looking back, the times in my life when I have been the busiest is when I've been able to make the most use of time, and it's when I had all the time in the world that stuff didn't get done. I think of the example of, I had my highest GPA in college when I had the most credit hours, and I had my lowest GPA in college in a semester when I had the least number of credit hours. And so one of the things that I noticed this morning, I'm working on a new webinar that we're going to do, and I've been doing a ton of different things. And normally when I schedule my stuff, I think in terms of like half-hour increments, 15-minute increments, hour long. I've got so many hours, and I'm going to put this in for this hour, and this in for this hour, and this in for this hour. And now I don't have time to do that, so I got to make the most of every single minute. So I was editing this webinar this morning, and I started at 6:10, and I said, okay, I got to have this thing edited by 7 o'clock because I got something else I got to do, which is to be out here with you. And so literally at 6:59, I'm finishing this thing up, and I've got the first edit done. I even managed to sneak in a quick meeting with Susan to talk to her about finding testimonials to put into the webinar. And so the biggest thing to look for is what I call time leaks. And time leaks are where you lose 10 or 15 or 20 minutes because you're waiting to get started on the next thing, or you're screwing around with something that you really could have done right now, but because you don't have something pressing coming up in the next few minutes, then you screw around with something longer than you should. So pay attention to where you're leaking time. Usually you're not leaking hours, you're leaking 15 minutes here, 20 minutes there, 30 minutes there. And over the course of a week, over the course of even a day, it adds up to several hours or dozens of hours. And over the course of a year, it's killing you. So I have a thing that around it at my house. It initially met with resistance. But now we have this thing that I call the work period. And I say, okay, this is the work period. This is only work going on. And so nothing gets done during the work period except work. But then when it's not the work period, you got to take care of the stuff that's not the work period. Like things that your wife wants you to do, and changing filters in the water filter system, and adding salt to the water softener, and feeding the chickens, and doing all the other things. My wife's here. Hi, honey. So the point is, watch where you're leaking time, because if you plug those leaks, you will be amazed at the stuff that you can get done. Get an extra blog post done. Get an extra Facebook Live done. Get that email written. Get those scripts created, whatever it is. So just pay attention to where you might be leaking time. All right, that's all I got today. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Keep your eye out for a new webinar I'm going to be doing. Very, very exciting, big announcement. Also, Don't forget Funnel Fridays. This Friday, Russell Brunson and I will be creating a funnel live in front of you, writing the copy, laying out the funnel inside of ClickFunnels. We'll do it all in under an hour, and you'll be able to get 7 free share funnels, professionally designed share funnels. This week we're talking about brick and mortar funnels, which is super cool. Even if you don't have a brick and mortar store, you need to be there because all the principles apply no matter what you're selling. So you can find out more about that at funnelfridays.com. Everybody have a great day. Say bye, chickens.